Okay, so this is the review for Unit 9 for Algebra 2. Remember, this is a video, so feel free to pause it, rewind, rewatch, whatever you need to. I'll do this over 6 parts because there are 6 pages. Okay, so problem number 1. Okay, we want to graph the given equation, state all pertinent information, and it tells us what pertinent information we want to use, depending on if it's a parabola, circle, ellipse, or hyperbola. So first thing we have to do is identify what it is. This is a circle because it fits the equation x minus h squared plus y minus k squared is equal to 3 squared, or is equal to r squared. Okay, and so we just pick out h, which is 2, k, which is negative 3, and r, which is 3. Okay, so that means my center is at 2, negative 3. My radius is 3. So I come over here and graph. 2, negative 3 is here. Radius is 3. Okay, and your circle doesn't have to be perfect. It does need to hit the points you picked. And there's your circle. Okay, so that's number 1. Okay, number 2 here. We identify it as a parabola because there is one thing squared. Okay, so this is a parabola. This is a parabola. Okay, it's y squared, so that means it is horizontal. I'll figure out if it opens left or right later, so it's either going to open that way or that way. Alright, this is not in standard form because if it's y squared, I should have y minus k squared. I should have 1 over 4p, and I should have x minus h over there. So that's your equation for parabola. Alright, so what I have to do is I have to complete the square. Alright, well, it's going to be 4 because that right there, that's b. So I want to take half of 4 and square it. And it goes there. Okay, and we also put it there because if I add it to one side, I got to add it to the other. Well, the good news for us is the whole point of adding that was so that this stuff over here will complete a square and look like that. So I still have 4x plus 4. Not quite the same because I needed to be x minus h, right? Needed to be x minus h. Alright, again, x minus h. And then, so I have to do one more step. And that one more step is divide by 4. Okay, and so my last step will make it go into the original equation. X plus 1 is equal to 1 over 4 times y plus 2 squared. Okay, so now we match it up. What's h? What's k? H is negative 1. K is negative 2. And I know 1 over 4p is equal to 1 over 4. So let's solve that out. That gives me 4p is equal to 4, or p is equal to 1. Okay, so this piece right here. P is positive. Okay, so if it's positive, and so we're going to open to the right. Okay. All right, so vertex we can go ahead and state. And I'll do that here. The vertex is negative 1, negative 2. Let's graph that. Negative 1, negative 2 is right here. Okay, P is positive 1. So I go there and there. So if I zoom that in, my directrix is here. My focus is there. Alright, and remember, that'll be my focus. Okay, and then this will be my directrix. And then this little thing right here is my vertex. Okay, P is always the distance from the vertex to the focus. So I can come over here and I can state what the focus is now. The focus is 0, negative 1. Sorry, oh, it'd help if I graph this right. Let's slide these down 1. Okay, there we go. Focus is 0, negative 2. The directrix is x equals negative 2. Okay, remember x equals, this is your line for your directrix, x equals 1, 2. Okay, -2 in this case, we go 2 to the left. X is always equal to -2 on this line right here. Okay, so there's directrix. Axis of symmetry is the only other thing I need. So axis of symmetry, okay, it's going to go through the vertex. Okay, your axis of symmetry will go through the vertex. It'll go like this through the vertex. Okay, so that's where it's symmetric, and so our axis of symmetry is y is equal to -2. All right, so that is coincidence that these are the same numbers. It won't always work that way. Don't think it works that way. It is coincidence that they look like that way. Okay, now these are not coincidence. So that that -2, that -2, that -2, because it opens right or left, it opens horizontally, those will always be the same number. Okay, that is not coincidence. Those. Vertex, focus, axis of symmetry. All right, so last thing I need to do is graph some points, and if we go back to Algebra 1, how do we learn how to graph points? We make a table. Okay, so let's come over here. We have this equation. All right, our equation deals with points x and y, and our equation is 4x equals y squared plus 4y. Okay, so we're looking for good values to plug in. Okay, you can plug in for y or plug in for x, it does not matter. I think it will be easier if that whole expression is equal to 0. So to make that expression equal to 0, I need to let x be equal to 0. Okay, so I do that. That gives me 0 is equal to y squared plus 4y. All right, and then I can factor, so I get 0 is equal to y times y plus 4. And then I can use my zero product property and say 0 is equal to y, or 0 is equal to y plus 4. And then I solve this one for -4 is equal to y. So when x is 0, I either get y to be 0, or when x is 0, I get y to be -4. So let's come over here and let's graph those pieces. 0, 0 is easy enough. It's right there. 0, -4 is here. And now we just connect the dots. And there is our parabola. Okay, and we have written the pertinent information and we've checked our graph. Okay, that's it for page 1. Moving on to page 2 next.